and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and we should probably do a Gunpla news. So it's been a pretty slow couple of weeks. I was able to compile together some stuff, and I was considering just throwing a little bit of it together just to do kind of a half episode. But it's a good thing I waited because there was actually some pretty cool stuff that popped up last night and early this morning, so let's talk about that. So the biggest thing we saw was some new box art for some of the November models. Here is the real grade Johnny Raiden Zaku 2 high mobility type. This box here, when I first saw this, I was not sure. In fact, I was pretty sure that this was not the official Bandai box art. I think the biggest thing that set it off for me was the fact that the mobile suit itself, instead of just kind of being like just standing there like usual, is actually in a more dynamic pose, which is not really something you see with these boxes. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, it's just an odd choice of kits to break the formula on. Of course, this is very likely a early mock-up of the box art, so it's entirely possible that it might change in some way between now and the release of the kit. And it seems like we got just a whole bad batch of box art, because this is the Cherubim Saga, and it don't look too great. Now, I don't know what you guys are seeing here, but when I look at this picture, what I see is a model kit that was photographed and then had a filter put over it to make it look like an illustration. Fortunately, the kit itself still looks amazing, it's just not the best box art Bandai's done. On the other side of the spectrum, the GM Sniper Custom is looking pretty frickin' awesome. Seriously, I've never been a fan of the design of the GM Sniper Custom, but this illustration actually makes it look pretty darn cool. I especially like how that one GM Sniper Custom that's like just over the main one's shoulder is actually in the pose from the original box art. Rounding out the November kits, we have the 24th Century weapon set, and while we don't have an individual picture of the box art yet, at least not that I know of, you can see a little bit of it up here in the top corner of this picture, and down here you can see some pictures of some different 00 and Build Fighters kits using the weapons included in the box. So rolling back the clock a little bit to look at something that was, I believe, revealed sometime last week. This is the Command Fumina. This is one of those Mecha Girl kits that we saw a little teaser of last time, and she looks pretty cool. Same mold as the winning Fumina, same general idea. Her armor this time, instead of turning into the winning Gundam, turns into the Command Gundam, which is a nice little nod to the first season of Build Fighters, where this kit got its moment in the spotlight. And the final thing of note about this kit is something that actually kind of surprised me, and that is that this is a premium Bandai model. With how many of these kits Bandai's been pushing out, I'm kind of surprised that they would have made something like this premium, but okay. And alongside the Command Fumina, we also have the Ricto Gyanko, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's Gyanko cosplaying as a Rick Dom. The placement of the beam emitter on the Dom's chest does look a little weird here. I might have moved that. And like the Fumina, this one is also premium Bandai. So now I want to talk about a really cool looking upcoming premium Bandai kit we saw a little bit of at the last hobby show, and I'm really happy we have some more pictures of this thing because it just looks awesome. This is Uma Lightning's Gelgoog high mobility type. I love this kit. Like, this thing looks super cool. First of all, we have the colors. Of course, they look amazing. Along the back here, we have some really cool new parts on the legs and on the backpack. I've always thought that the Gelgoog high mobility type was kind of redundant since the Gelgoog was already supposed to be sort of a high mobility mobile suit, but I cannot deny that this is a pretty damn awesome looking upgrade. The missile launchers on his arm look great, the handheld rocket launcher is just plain awesome, and overall just a really great looking kit. Also, they're going to be re-releasing the Master Grade Johnny Raiden Zaku 2 S-Type as well to go with it, so if you want to pick up one of those as well, you're going to have a chance to pretty soon. So here's some new pictures of the real grade Trans Am Quanta. There's really not much I can say here. It's pretty much exactly like every other Trans Am kit we've ever gotten. They're also going to be re-releasing the real grade Gundam Exia Trans Am mode and the Trans Am Riser to go with it, so if you want to pick up all three of the Trans Am Gundams at once, you can go right ahead and do so. Keeping with the real grade Gundam 00 theme, we have the 007 Sword G inspection colors. Now, we've seen a little bit of this kit before. I was kind of iffy on the colors. It had a kind of orangey look to it that I didn't really like that much, but in these new pictures, it does look a lot better. It feels like it's much closer to the red of the original high grade kit. I just really like this. I've always been a fan of the inspection color 7 Sword, and this is a pretty great rendition of it. And very quickly, we're just going to blow through this one kit that's probably not interesting to almost anyone here, but this is the BB Senshi Mark III Daishogun Super Steel version. It's the Mark III Daishogun, but it's shiny. Yay. So now here's something that kind of surprised me. This is the high grade The Origin Action Zaku. Now, I'm pretty familiar with the Action Zaku, or at least the sort of classic MSV one. This is the Origin version though, so it's a bit different. This one is in the colors of Caecilius Forces, which is black just like that Zaku one that they're putting out at retail pretty soon. There is still some new tooling on this. It's got a new head, new chest, new legs. It does look kind of cool, I guess, but it's Bandai and it's honestly not worth the markup to me at least. And this is another example example of that crap they pulled with the Zaku Cannon and the Gundam Local type, where they're releasing a Cassilia Forces Zaku at retail, but it's a straight recolor of the Zaku 1. And this one, that's granted not my cup of tea, but still a pretty heavy retool, is Premium Bandai. Because screw logic, I guess. And speaking of screwing logic, Master Grade GM Commander type. So we've already seen the Space Commander type Master Grade get released as a premium Bandai kit. This time we got the normal colors Commander type, so this is the type that was used inside of the colonies. And the funky thing about this, the reason it kind of throws logic out the window, is that this one, as far as I can see, looks like it's going to be a retail kit. This is kind of interesting to see because you don't usually see tooling that was made for premium Bandai kits get reused for retail kits. Like, I think the Schwartz Ritter had some Cathedral parts, but that's the only example I can think of where they've taken new tooling designed for a premium kit and used it for a retail release. But I'm not really complaining though. I mean, I guess I'm going to complain a little because it's not my favorite of the 0080 GMs. I do really like the Space Commander colors, but the normal Commander colors are pretty cool, and I might very well end up picking this up when it comes out in January. So there's no pictures for this right now, but we do have confirmation of a Master Grade Providence Gundam special coating version. This is really not going to be anything that special. It's just going to be an extra finish / titanium finish style plated version of it. We already got one of these for the Justice, we got one for the Freedom, and like the one for the Freedom, this one is also going to include the effect parts from that Providence Gundam effect set with the posable Dragoon effects, which I guess is pretty cool. So now we got a couple new Gundam base kits. Gundam base Tokyo, of course, has the very cool Unicorn Gundam statue, so they're going to be adding a couple new Unicorn Gundam kits to their store. This is the high-grade Universal Century Unicorn Gundam Gloss Injection. They're doing both the Unicorn mode and the Destroy mode, so you're going to have both options. It also includes that new base plate with like Gundam base written on it that they had with like the Barbatos. It's another way to get that if you're interested. Also, they've added a couple kits that you can only get by spending reward points from I think some Gundam base membership thing. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's a gold Gundam Revive version and a gold Federation action base. So if you want them, I guess they exist. So right off the Gundam base kits, we have some new Gunpla Expo kits. So Revive Zeta Gundam clear version, Revive Strike Freedom clear version, Mechanical Clear Hyakushiki 2.0, and a clear version of the Master Grade 007 sword. And I really do like the Clear 7 sword. I think it's a pretty awesome mold. I just recently built it, had a lot of fun with it, and I definitely like how it looks with clear armor. So now I'm going to bring back something that I believe I think might have just only mentioned in passing like 5 or 6 or 7 episodes ago, and that is the Master Grade gold frame. Now, it's probably not the gold frame you're thinking of, it's just the basic gold frame with just a gold frame and a bazooka. Last I talked about it, it was a Gunpla Expo release. However, it turns out that they're going to kind of do the same thing with it that they did with the 007 sword real grade, where the Gunpla Expo release is just kind of a preview thing, and then it's going to be after that released on the Premium Bandai web shop, so it'll be relatively easier to get a hold of. Although it may very well turn out that the Gunpla Expo version might end up being easier to get a hold of because Bluefin has actually done something pretty cool and opened up an online web shop of their own. So their store is in beta, but right now they do have a limited selection of a few different kits. Most of them are Gunpla Expo kits, but they do have some figures and stuff. But the most interesting thing they have is a few Gunpla Expo kits that don't really cost any more than they would cost at a convention. So if you want, like, say, a Ayug made Fumina, it's only going to be like $20-25. Like I said, their selection is pretty small right now, but they are working on adding some new items on a weekly basis, so there should be some pretty cool stuff showing up on there soon. I've actually already ordered something from them, and if you stick around, you'll see it pretty soon. I'm going to leave a link to the store down in the description below so you guys can check it out. And that was Gunpla News. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I know this was a little slow coming, but there just wasn't really that much to talk about for the last couple weeks. Anyways, if you're new here, I'm Second Soundwave. Here on Channel 2S, I do all sorts of cool Gunpla stuff, so if that sounds like something you enjoy, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.